birds. We already know that reference. Alright, Captain's Log 12? Question mark? Let's see some of this over there. The statue's a little too permanent. Going into an era where things are much more fluid. And hopefully we're going to learn from our past mistakes of conquest and colonization, and into cooperation, instead of compliance, which is something that religion failed to teach, even though it was earnestly wanting to be understood. So I love what what's his face, Mike Todd said about people want kingdom principles, but they don't want to submit to the king. And there's something very powerful that happens when people are at war, is that people begin to structure and organize in a way that people on the coast never would. They don't need to. They just want to be at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Which, being at the beach is fine in peace. Being at the beach at war, it's a really tough challenge. See Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan. All right. Some of the things that I say may not make sense. Think of a monkey in a tree, but the branches are continually growing and sort of fractaling out like a firework. And the monkey's able to jump, boom, 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 boom. That might be a blueprint to capture me. And it's a very bold thing to sort of give out that kind of secret. Now, I was thinking about that, like, you know how like the psychotic serial killer, like they're kind of like I don't know. You're like, you have to get into the mind of the guy, you know? And the thing I came up with was that a killer works alone, but a revolutionary works with the community. So, I've tried doing this stuff by myself, and it's really painful. It kind of kills my soul. So, I'm on here reaching out to people, free people that can think for themselves and make conclusions and learn how to work with the world that's changing rapidly for the betterment of other people and for the freedom of other people. Because it's under threat. Right now, it seems, I mean, just think about the way that we use our cell phones, the way that we use pornography, or the way that these things are used against us to divide us and to isolate us, to get us into an echo chamber of continually looking for something, you know? Like I was chatting with ChatGPT and I kept kind of coming against the same answers and not really even sure how to like structure the questions. And sometimes being concerned that like this thing is gonna get smarter than me one day. Smarter than all of us combined. And what decisions will it make? And what will we have programmed into it? Because, and will the people like, it's wild. It's infinite. There's an infinite way of thinking about it. There's a lot of symbology and meaning and There's a lot of things that are layered, and there's a lot of things that are just really practical. So I am sure that it's difficult to make sense of what I'm saying because we're used to a logical, linear way of thinking. That's why ChatGPT is like a language model. And it's funny because like I'll ask it like, okay, how do I do like a step-by-step formula? And I'm like, what? I don't go by step-by-step formulas. I've been trying to make myself go into step-by-step formulas, but that's not what works for me. They're useful, and there are things that at the end of the day I can't can make a plan, but sometimes I still have to just go back to the plan in order to do it. And that's frustrating because I want to like jump to the new tasks or the new ideas. But I need help with the development of the ideas that are already generating and actually have promise. Otherwise, it'll just fizzle out, and we'll all die. You know, we'll all be plugged into the matrix and all that stuff. So, anyway, did anyone catch like the pigeons thing? Beginning, because there's this idea of like it's a conspiracy theory that like okay, we're not gonna go in there. We don't need to go into that. Man, it's frustrating. I wish I could. That horse is peeing. Woo! That was intense. Okay. And it's frustrating that I can't quite communicate to people in the way that people are used to. And so this is my practice. And it's filmed and it's documented, and someone at some point in time, even if it's just me, will surveil it and may come to conclusions that they might just have difficulty understanding it because they're not in the present moment with me right here in my brain. And that's incredibly comforting to me because if you were here in my brain, I would be concerned that you're trying to control me. Don't do that. Or, well, try. Anyway. Where to next? Okay. So next is just getting gathering the community, like sort of like capitalizing on people's strengths and learning how to ask for those strengths to manifest in a way that's helpful for me, that doesn't burden the other person. And I'm having to recognize that my perception of being a burden to them may not be actual reality. That just might be my internal feeling about their external response. That may not have anything to do with me. This is this is kind of a pattern. So, and I need to check in with how people are actually feeling about what's going on. So, if any of this made sense, please let me know. It would be great to cooperate and work together, because I can't do this alone, and I'm not going to. Logging out.